itself. Think of it kind of as a booklet to kind of get everyone into the same creative mindset. Yeah, so I'll be sharing it with you, and let's just take a look at it, okay? Let's just jump into it. Okay, here we are. So, every pitch deck starts out with a title card, and the title of the film was Flowers. I loved this because it's a great photo, but also the beginning scene for the first scene of the film, it actually is of Josh looking down at a flower and picking it up. So I loved this POV. I apologize if my computer's being really loud right now. But yeah. Okay, so we're going on to the next section. Wow, my computer is really loud. Sorry. But on to the next section is the story. So, a pitch deck is broken down into different sections. My pitch deck is pretty, I would say, newbie. I think I hit most of everything I needed to share with people, but there's definitely more I can do for my next projects. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think I should have added to this, what I wasn't clear about, and yeah, just let me know. So the story, we have a soccer player kicking a goal. Oops, okay, and we are back. So, oops, okay, so we are back. So here's the actual one. So we start with flowers, right? Same photo. The story, it's a little bit different. Sorry, I kind of like just showed you another one, but so we have flowers, and then we move on to another section called the story. And yeah, I'm trying to see if I can just, yeah, this is probably going to be the best that it can be. There we go. So the story, you basically have a slide that explains the story to people in a log line. So we start with genre, which is LGBTQ romantic drama. We have a log line. Now a log line should usually be a little bit shorter, but this is what I could best come up for my log line. And the log line just describes the story in like a very brief synopsis. My log line goes, we follow Josh, a soon-to-be high school graduate, as he reconnects with his childhood friend Eddie, who has recently come out as gay. Eddie is an outcast and has something to teach Josh, with a graduation party coming up and a girl wanting Josh to kiss her. Does Josh go with the status quo, or does he stand up? Yeah, so that's the story. It could have been stand up or stand out, but yeah, so that's the story. I love this background because it kind of gives you the neighborhood vibe, you know. The story takes place in a neighborhood, but also we have some sunset shots, but also Josh, main character, is on a bike, so I love that I referenced that. So that's the story. And then we move on, and this is something I learned that I didn't know that I liked. A fun thing that you could put in your pitch decks for people is like a quote that kind of summarizes the story itself, and I plucked this out of the sleepover scene, and it goes, it's from Eddie. I think love is seeing someone's differences and loving them for that. Eddie Clark. Who's Eddie? Don't you love that quote? I love that quote. And it really encapsulates the whole message of this film, which I really love. If you're a writing nerd like I am, so this is basically the fighting force against the societal pressures. So think of when we open the film, this is in complete contention with the ideas from all the other main characters. So that hints to you that, you know, all of Josh's relationships and connections and situations up to this point with Eddie, it's all about, I think love is seeing someone's similarities and loving them for that. That's what everyone else thinks, but Eddie thinks something different, and that's what catapults this story, and that's what catapults Josh into embracing his differences. So moving on, once we have all of that, we go into themes. So things that our story will, go into. Some of these themes are fitting in for standing out. Another one is romantic love versus friendship love, and flowers. You usually will pull from like societal. You'll pull like out like some I forget what it's called, but like societal things. So fitting in for standing out. Internal with the main character. Romantic love versus friendship love. What's the difference? And then this flowers is a motif. I could have had some more themes into it, but these are the three that really stood out for me. These two contentions of fitting in versus standing out, and romantic love versus friendship love, which I don't know about you, but I find it really fascinating. Like, what is the line between platonic love and romantic love, and like, do they bleed, do they not, I believe they do, and that's why I love the story. And then flowers is just this on-running motif, which I'll get into in the next ones. I love this photo in the back because it's of two boys basically sitting on their desk, like in school, which is where this basically takes place as well. And one longingly looking at the other. So now I'm gonna get into flowers. Then I kind of broke away, and I kind of was like, okay, how am I gonna describe this film to like the crew and stuff, and how they actually get it? So I don't know if this is normal pitch by text, but I went into like these themes a little bit deeper. And here's what it is. So the next slide is, humans are just like flowers. And I love this because it's human with a flower. This is actually what gave me a lot of inspiration for the flower world at the end of the film. And I took this from Pinterest, and I looked at a lot of photos like this. Humans are just like flowers. We're all different, but we all need three things to grow. We need dirt, we need water, and we need sun. Dirt. We need a good, rich foundation to grow in. And then I talk about where we see this in the film. So in Act 1, Josh is looking for a foundation to grow in. And a lot of the first act, which is before Josh and Eddie have their sleepover, Josh is like grabbing dirt. He's trying to, feel good in a foundation. He wants to find a place to grow. Water, an outside source to allow us to grow. So that's what we need. So we need a foundation. We need an outside source to allow us to grow. And in Act 2, Josh begins to grow with the help of Eddie. We also have a lot of symbolism scenes of him like literally being showered and stuff. Sun, an outside source to allow us to shine, which I love. So in Act 3, at the way end, Josh allows him to stand out, and he literally looks into the sun and allows it to happen. All of these three things, when given enough, allow us, and flowers do, bloom and see the world differently than before. So this is where I got a lot of inspiration from Eddie and sunflowers and bloom. But at the end of the film, we see all the characters that have gone through the transformation literally bloom into flowers. So it feels really surreal when you're watching it, but if you actually look back at the film and all the steps and all the acts, you'll see how they all got their foundation dirt, they all got their water for growing, and then they look into the sun and they blossom into these different flowers. Something I also added in later after this is the connection of like some flowers grow better together than others. For instance, sunflowers and daisies grow really well together, but like sunflowers and roses don't. And I purposely made Madeline's character roses, and I made Josh. Well, roses and daisies don't get along either, but I made Eddie's character sunflowers, so they were really at contention. So yeah. I also added a new line, which wasn't in the video, but I added a new line about them as well. Sorry if you can hear plates and stuff, but I added them in the sleepover talking about them being at like a gardening camp and them learning about flowers and stuff. But I get carried away, so moving on after that. synopsis. So in a pitch deck, you will later on, the further people read, the more specific you get. Let's see what the synopsis is. It goes, Josh is practicing soccer with his friend Rob, only to stop and pick up a flower from the ground. He's pressured to give it to the girl across from him, Madeline, who's alone. Eddie, who's sitting alone, watches as Josh throws the flower away. Josh hates being alone, and when he's in his room, Saturday morning, not knowing what to do, he remembers about his past when his dad was still alive. He looks over his hat. He used to wear it all the time. What happened? I grew up, he thinks. When Eddie calls Josh, Josh goes over and comforts him. Eddie asks to stay over, but Josh doesn't allow him until later when he asks for him to sleep over. Josh takes Eddie to a party when he tries to get his first kiss with Madeline. Everything goes great until he realizes right before the kiss that she doesn't like him for who he is. So he stops, only for Madeline to show she was relieved too. She felt forced to try and feel a connection with Josh. Madeline helps Josh realize that everyone is different, and once Josh realizes this, he begins to discover that the person that really accepts him is Eddie. Is that love? Before he has a chance to make a move, Rob interjects and bullies Josh and Eddie. Dejected, Eddie leaves, Josh all alone without his cat for comfort. Back on the soccer field, Josh sees that Madeline is different now, and that Rob is as well. Rob gives him a new hat, and Josh looks into the sun. He sees everyone has flowers. He goes over to Eddie, who's sitting all alone the night before, with a flower in hand. So that's the synopsis. The synopsis is actually a little bit different than the actual film I shot. For instance, some things we changed was the hat is not in relationship to, we never talk about Josh's dad. At the end we see, oops, I moved this, didn't I? Ooh, what am I moving? I don't know. But, so the dad isn't mentioned. We also see, back on the soccer field, Rob actually doesn't turn into flowers. He's still kind of, hasn't changed at all. But yeah, that's basically the story. There's just little tweaks here and there. And yeah, so you have the synopsis. Moving on, you go into, okay, why is this film actually important? And so this is basically like the hook. So people are like, okay, I like this, but like, why do we have to make this, if something doesn't have meaning, like, or urgency for it to be made, like, no one's gonna make it, right? So this is where I go into why is this important. And I said, in a world where fitting in seems like the right thing and socially acceptable thing to do, flowers reminds us that everyone is different, and although we may like to hide these differences, in the end, the only way we can bloom as people is by showing them to each other. And once shown, it's easier to find the people that really love you. I don't know about you, but I love that. It's something that I needed and still need to hear to this day, and I really hope that people watch the film and kind of get that, you shouldn't be running away from your differences, but you should really be running to accept them, and once you do, you'll find people that love you for you, And yeah. So moving on, I think the last phase, I just didn't want to end, I didn't want to end on why this is important, so I just added like these little flowers, which basically show you, this would be Madeline with the roses, this would be, imagine this was a boy but with sunflowers, that would be Eddie, and then this is Josh with, it's supposed to be daisies, but yeah, you kind of see everyone's different flowers, and that's it. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. That's the pitch deck that I made for flowers. So I wrote the film, I got the producer, and then Charlie, and then I basically created this like a month in advance just to give to people, just so they can understand and conceptualize the film a little bit more. Let me know what your favorite slide was. And also, if you have any questions about pitch decks, let me know in the comments as well. I'll answer them. But yeah, if you haven't already, and you like this film and you're still watching this, give me a thumbs up. Like, give this video a thumbs up. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, I'd love it if you subscribed. Hit the bell notification so you're in the loop with all the videos coming out on my channel. And yeah, I'm just so grateful you're here. And if no one's told you today, you're a lot stronger than you may think you are. That could be physically or mentally, but you're stronger than you think you are. And sometimes your head kind of stops you from believing that, but you're a force to be reckoned with, and don't let anyone ever tell you that you're not, because you are. So with that in mind, use that, to help people, but also you're a bad ASS. I think you could say badass. You're a badass, so remember that. And I hope this was relaxing. Sleep well, or have a great day, or be productive, whatever you do. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video, okay?